another episode of the Lone Recruiter Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Clemenson, and if you're a recruiter out on your own or just lacking in general advice or mentorship, you have come to the right place. Our episodes are designed to give you the motivation, the strategies, and the support you need to become the very best lone recruiter. So join us, grab a cup of coffee, and let's take your desk to another level. Now, it's no secret I have a little fan crush on my main man, Ryan Serhant. If you don't know that name, $1 million listing New York. He's starting that for 10 seasons. He's got his new show out, which is Selling Manhattan. And look, he's a sales guru. He might be a bit American over top for a lot of people, but there's just so much genius in what he does. And he has some very consistent methodologies and sayings. And one of those is one of my favorites, which is look after the work and the work will look after you. And it's a nice saying, but when you actually break it down, you realize there's a lot of depth to what he's saying. He's basically saying, look after the work, get the job done, do a really freaking good job, and you'll get paid a ton of money, and that will look after you. And it couldn't be truer. It could not be truer. And so why do I love it? Because it's a way to articulate what I've always believed, which is when you ask anyone, if I ask you, if I ask your mum, if I ask your friend, what are the most important things in your life? There is a very good chance that they'll name these three things: family, friends, and health. People literally jump to those things and they say, oh, my family's number one, my friends, or my health is number two, and my friends are number three. Maybe in that order, maybe slightly back to front, but you get my point. Work's never that important in someone's life. But I would always argue that if you are having a shit time at work, if you're having a shit run at work, you're not making enough money, you are unhappy with your boss, you are unhappy with your job, it's not working out the way you want it to be, you're dissatisfied, I will guarantee that is seeping into your family time. It is seeping into your friendship circles. It is seeping into your health. Because when stuff starts to go wrong and you're not achieving what you want to achieve at work, guess who suffers? Everyone around you. Your family hears you bitch and moan all day long. Your health suffers because you're not going to go to the gym as much because you're knuckling down, you're stressed. Even if you do keep going, doing the exercise you want to get done, but now you're stressed and you're in a bad headspace, so now your mental health goes. And you see less of your friends because you don't have as much money to go and see them, go and have dinners. You're busy with work. You're probably more depressive likeliness. So you get my point. If you look after the work will look after you. I don't think there's a more truer thing. And I had a mentor who used to say to me, my number one priority in life is my family. Therefore, work is my number one. I said, what do you mean? He goes, because if I do not earn any money, if I do not earn enough money, if I cannot support my family and give them the things that they need, give them the house that they need, the supplies they need, the food, the nourishment, the education, if I can't provide for them, and that is my number one job on this planet, then I'm failing. So he kept saying, my number one priority is my family, therefore work is my number one. And I was just like, oh, and again, that might sound like a real workaholic thing, but it's not. The sentiment is, family is my number one. But if I'm fucking up the thing that supports them, I'm not looking after them. So it's really important, I think, to really know what is your number one, because I would dare say it's pretty hard. Maybe health is the only other thing that comes close to work, because without your health, you can't do anything, right? But I'm a firm believer that if you look after the work will look after you. We can have chaos in our lives. You can't control your family. You're probably thinking of a sister or a dad or a mum or someone in your family or extended family who's just a chaos monster. They do your head in, but they're blood, and you have to be around them. You can't control that. Your friends, there's always drama somewhere. Something's happening. You can't control what's going on there either. There's good times, there's bad times. Same with your health. You can't control your health. You can do your best to put yourself in a good position, but you can't control your health. You can actually control your work, because you are in charge of your desk. You are in charge of how things go. You're in charge of the market you're recruiting. You're in charge of how you handle your day in, day out. You're in charge of yourself. It's actually the one part of your life you've got most control over is your work and your ability to succeed in that job. Because if you're not succeeding in a job, it is you, and you need to do something about it. And you're listening to this podcast, so I know you are trying. So good on you. But you get my point, right? Everyone needs a solid foundation in their life, whether it's family, where you live, or your job. One of those three needs to be absolutely rock freaking solid. And a lot of times throughout life is long, these things go out of whack. You see those people who hit a massive reset button in life. Oh, I've had a divorce. I'm going to move and I'm going to change jobs. You go, wow, you're changing everything all at once. There's no firm ground for you to stand upon to make these calls and these decisions. So you see it, right? Think about people that you've worked with or people in your office or people you know, and think about the ones that are having a bit of a rough time at the moment. They've got all these plates spinning. Everything seems to be up in the air. The best advice you can give them is to create some solid footing in any one of those areas. Is it just landing a place to live? Is it just settling down with the family situation? Or is it just putting in the work, do the work, and it will look after you? Is it creating a firm landing for work? You need a safe place. So I'm a firm believer that if you look after the work, you can always look after the work. And no matter what is happening in your life, you've got at least one foot on solid ground. And for me, that's work, okay? Work, like I can't control my family. I can't control my friends. I can't control my health. I can experience it and I can do my best to help it. But where I can actually have the most effect and I can have create the most solid ground for myself is work. So again, look after the work and the work will look after you. That's the episode, okay? If you like this, share it, subscribe, click follow. Let's give this one a thumbs up. Send it to a friend. Send it to your mum. Send it to someone who needs this. That will help me. If you can just forward this to one person, think of one person in your network that could really do with a kick up the ass for work, send this to them, okay? This is the one that says you got to do the work, and this is why. Because it's going to help your family. It's going to help your health. It's going to help this. As always, have an amazing day, and may all your deals come true.